Hi guys, hope you're well. Sunday blessings. It's Mitch here, just coming on with my little Oski to do this week's Oracle, Tarot and Oracle review. So this week I'm going to be reviewing the Witch's Familiar Oracle deck, and this is by Meiklejohn-Free and Flavia Kate Peters, and it's been designed and the artwork is produced by Kate Osbourne. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Now, being that it's Witches Familiars, this is my little Witches Familiar. Good boy. Give me a kiss. Oh, good boy. And familiars are different to pets. So even though Oscar is a pet of mine, he is very much a Witches Familiar. He is somebody that is really, really stressed, really damaged in a lot of ways because of his past, things that he's been put through. So, you know, he is a trapped spirit in a vessel that he struggles at times to be in. And for those people that have known his story and his journey, you will know that he's been through something quite trying, quite tricky, quite dark. Bear with me, guys. I've just got some incense on the floor and he's decided he wants to eat those. I'll be 2 secs. Come here. That's the only problem with familiars. So, Witch's Familiar is a fantastic, fantastic deck, and I'm really excited to share this one with you. The back of the deck is beautiful, beautiful in the sense that you, sorry, the box, not the deck, the box, so you can see all these different examples of the cards. Now this is produced by, Oscar, leave that. 1 sec, we're after crystals now. That's the only problem with him, because down in the Witch's cellar I've got crystals on the floor, different bits and pieces, and when I do magic work, he just wants to get involved. He really, really loves it, which is amazing in one way, but can be a bit of a pain in the arse in another. So let's go back to the cards. So this is produced by Solarus Ltd. So I don't know if you can see their logo there, but we've actually used and we've seen some of their card decks before. So like I say, this is a fantastic, fantastic deck. I was so excited to have this because if you've never really, you know, we all have familiars, whether they are guardians that watch over us from the spirit world, but sometimes, like I say, they can be our own animals in physical form, but they're not always traditional pets. So if he was, like with Oscar, if he was like a normal, I wouldn't say normal because that sounds awful, but if he was somebody that was a bit more happy in himself, a bit more jovial, you know, he's a really messed up, really damaged dog, and he has struggled in this life. And me and my partner have tried to give him the best of what we can, and we know that he's grateful for that, but it's a hard journey, so it's really interesting. So like I say, they're not normal pets, guys. If you just feel you've got a normal pet that is, you know, it's a different connection. It's really hard because they are usually spirits that are trapped if they're in physical form, and they are in some ways tormented, but they try and guide as best as they can. It's really hard to explain a familiar because it's very different to a spirit guide, and it's very different to like soulmate energy. It maybe sometimes encompasses those energies, but it is different. But getting back to these cards, so as we look at this deck, let's open it up. Now, anything by the Solarus Creations is always fabulous, it's always great quality. So what we've got here is the little book, and I love on the back you've got a little bit about the authors themselves, beautiful Barbara and Flavia. And I'm really lucky with this particular deck. I was able to get it signed by the guys, so I think that always makes it a little bit extra special when you get them signed. But yeah, just really, really lovely. And I just love this. It's a very, very powerful little deck. So we'll look at the book a little bit more later. So let's have a look. So the back of the cards. So you get this beautiful, beautiful artwork here What I also love is that these are gilded. Now, I really do like gilded cards, beautiful gold gilding on these. I always think gilded cards look a little bit more special, look a little bit more magical. It's personal preference, but that's what I like. These, I think, they're medium to large. They're a good size. Some people find them too big. I love this size. For me, this is my perfect size tarot deck or oracle deck because I just love working with them. In terms of their stock quality, they are reasonably thick. You know, these are good quality. So yeah, these are fantastic, guys. Now, in terms of how many, it's a 48 card deck, so it's, you know, it's quite a lot of cards here to show you. So what we've got as well, they've got the energy as well as the animals. Sometimes like familiars can be like elemental energy. So you might find that you link with something otherworldly as well. There's lots of examples. So like with this first one, we've got the card of elf, and it just says here mischief. And what I like is you get a sort of a piece about them, and then you get their sort of habits or their ways, what they kind of bring to you. So this is the card of elf, like I say, and some of you may work with fairy energy. Magpies, this next one is magpies, and it just says here addiction. I always am seeing magpies, and when I do, it's really important to salute the magpie. So I often see those energies. And we've got the mole here. I'm not going to read them all out because you can obviously see them. But the artwork is really, really lovely. What I like with these, I'm going to be really honest, because it's digital artwork, sometimes I'm a little bit snobby where digital artwork is concerned. And sometimes I feel a little bit like, oh. But this, the artwork that's been designed by Kate Osbourne is really, really beautiful. It's really fabulous. I really like it, you know. So in this case, I'm really, really impressed with the artwork. Like I say, sometimes digital artwork can look really digital, really nasty. There's some decks I've got and they just look a bit computerized, but that's not the case here. This is a beautiful, beautiful, stunning artwork. I really, really like it. So yeah, just want to sort of put that out there. These are very different to anything I've shown you, I think, before. They're quite dark as well. There's a dark element to them, which I quite like, you know, definitely very mystical. Like this one, for instance, Goblin, you know, very dark and mysterious and a little bit evil there, you know. Now, I'm not going to show you all of these, but I want to show you enough of them so that you get the idea of what we're looking at here. This is a deck that you could use in magic, you could use it in spell work, you could use it for readings, you could use it for personal work, you could use it for healing. It's a deck I don't really use for the public, I'll be honest. It's more of a personal deck. I don't think I've really used it at all actually for the public. It's just one I always felt was more for me. But it is lovely. I do love it, you know. So I've got quite a few decks that have been created by Barbara and Flavia, and they're all very different. They're all very quirky and unique, but they all encompass a lot of magic, a lot of power. I always say it's a deck created by witches for witches. So yeah, it's exciting. Right, I'm not going to show you all of these, but I just want to show you enough of these so that you can sort of see. I'm going to probably show you maybe like one or two more, because I want to leave some back as a surprise, just in case you decide to purchase, this deck yourself. So, like I say, I want to show you enough of them. I'm going to show you probably like maybe 2 or 3 more. I love this one, Bat. I just really love the way that he's hanging upside down. I think that's really cool. So maybe 1 or 2 more, and I think that's going to be your lot for this. I just want to see, I don't know if there is, I know we have had a big dog, but I just want to see if there's any other little dogs in here. Anything that looks a little bit like my little Oski. There might not be, and it's fine if there isn't. No, I don't think there is. But what there is, I've just noticed, is a beautiful, beautiful wrench. Wrench. I can't speak. Wren. Which I just wanted to show you because that is a beautiful little card there. So I'm going to leave the rest because, like I say, I want them to be a surprise. So as ever, what we'll do, we'll pick a card for this Sunday, things to be aware of and guidance to be given. And this will be a message for Sunday, but it will also be a message that follows through for the week ahead. I love the way these glide and slide. And what I really like as well, just to go back to the back of the artwork, I love the fact that they've bothered, because so many decks don't always bother with the back. So I love the fact that they've actually made sure the back is as fabulous as the actual images themselves. This isn't necessarily a 10 deck, but it's not necessarily a bad deck. I suppose it is a 10 in some ways, but because I don't work with it all the time, it's probably maybe more of like an 8 deck for me in terms of practicalities, you know. I think probably because I have my own Witches Familiar, this is maybe why it's not a deck I kind of call upon so much. But having said that, this would be a perfect first Oracle deck if you're somebody that is tapping into energies of your own Witches Familiar, or if you're wanting to make a connection with, you know, maybe your animal guide, then this would be a really good deck for you to work with and to have. Okay, so we've got the red squirrel consensuous. Oh, I'm rubbish with my words. So we've got the red squirrel here coming out, and the energy of consensuous. That's challenging my dyslexia. So this is sometimes where I hate being dyslexic when I do these videos, because you think, oh my god, it looks really unprofessional. But I think in other ways it kind of keeps it real, because, you know, I can only be who I am. And unfortunately, I do get majorly triggered by some words. So what you get, let's look at this in the book. Let me just find it. Red squirrel. Where is that one? There we go. So what you get is an image itself. Then you get a little bit of a sort of like a verse. Then you get the message. Then you get Familiar's Foresight, Red Squirrel, Witchy Tips, which I quite like that you've got the witchy tips. Also in the front of this book, you have got, I will say, examples of spreads you can try. So like the pentagram spread there. And a little bit of an introduction, just how the cards kind of came, how they were birthed and they were born. So I think that's really nice to have all of that in there. Definitely. So it just says here then, be mindful now and pay attention. Vigilance reveals the tension. Must prepare, be not mistaken. Obligation to awaken. I call upon Squirrel to assist me and harness this power, so mote it be. So you get like a little spell at the start. And then, so Familiar's message. So it just says here, oh dear, your indifference and nonchalance suggest that you can't be bothered, and I can see that your heart just isn't in it. This is compromising your level of integrity, and you could be risking it all. My message as a caretaker of the forest urges you to make time for play, to be sociable like me, but do so with a sense of solicitous care, and not as a gossip or slander. Be aware of how you are coming across to others, and be diligent in your work. Your life path doesn't have to be determined by luck, chance, or fate. It's all about a matter of being attentive to the task in hand, and to build harmony through respect and mindfulness of words and actions. Harness my magic to increase your perception and instincts. As your awareness awakes to a full level of consciousness, notice the beauty and natural gifts all around you. Together we will fill your storehouse with all you need as we prepare for your future. So basically, if you've been drawn to this card, you might have been feeling really flat, really half-hearted, or you almost might be feeling like your heart's just not properly in the job, in the task in hand. It might just all be feeling quite overwhelming, quite heavy at the moment. And I think for a lot of people, December time is like that anyway, particularly at the moment. It is quite hard going, isn't it? So that's an interesting message. And then we've got Familiar's Foresight. Be prepared. Take time out to regroup. A change is as good as the rest. A decision gets results. Get a job you're passionate about. Think before you speak. Balance work and play. Take miraculous care with details. time to take your duties seriously, make the effort. So actually step up and sort of invest in what you want, but let go of what isn't serving you. It's all about investment really as well. And then we've got Red Squirrel Witchy Tips. Known as a messenger of the gods, Irish fairy queen Mebus, I'm not sure if I've said that right, MEBH/S, squirrel, perched on her shoulder. A mischievous squirrel named Ratakuskik lived in the world tree of Norse mythology. Witches work with the squirrels who scurry about bearing news and gossip. So that's really interesting. So it is quite an interesting message, that one. So it's almost like stay focused on what you want to be doing. Don't get caught up in gossip, in hearsay or slander, and keep it simple, really, in a nutshell. So, in a nutshell, that made me chuckle. Then I'm so sad sometimes, but that actually did make me laugh because that was not planned. That was off the cuff. Oh dear, you'll be watching this thinking, Mitch, shut the bloody hell up. So I hope that makes sense for you. Sorry, my dyslexia is particularly bad this morning. I'm not sure what that's all about, but you know, Sunday and all that lot. So yeah, like I say, this deck is beautiful. It's definitely one worth having in the collection. It's not a 10 for me in the sense that I don't use it every day, but it is a 10 in terms of the collections that I've got in other aspects. Like, it's one of my witchy decks, it's one of my 10s in my witchy collection. I think it's definitely worth checking it out if you're pulled to it, if you feel guided to it. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Great quality box, great quality deck. You know, that's what I love about anything produced by Solarus. The quality is top notch, so you know you're onto a winner. So it's one of those kind of like publishing companies. You can almost buy something, not even really need to know too much about the deck, and you know you still will have something fantastic. So check it out, guys. Well worth the money. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to leave the energy of this with you. Stay safe, stay well, have a fantastic magical week ahead. Catch you all soon. Bye.